Okay guys, so this is the packet that we're going to be doing the homework on. We're doing numbers 22 through 26. So we're still on reflections, but we are going to reflect in another line besides the x and y axes. So this time we're going to reflect over a diagonal. So if you guys remember from what we did in class today, number 21, what we did was, okay, there's a line called y equals x. And it's not the y-axis, it's not the x-axis, it's actually a line that's called y equals x. Now what does that line look like? We made a table, we plugged in values for x. I purposefully chose -5, -4, all these points going up to 5, because I knew that that would cover this coordinate plane. So if y is equal to whatever x is, okay, then let's say x is -5. I just started with that. Then what will y have to be? -5. What if x equals -4? Then y is also -4. What if x equals -3? Y also equals -3, and so on and so forth. And we did that all the way up until we got to +5. Then what we did was we plotted each point. So -5, -5, you would go left 5 and down 5, then plot. Left 4, then down 4, then plot. And then left 3, then down 3, which is here, then left 2, down 2, which is here, left 1, down 1, which is here, 0, 0 is here, then 1, 1 is here, 2, 2 is here. But we plotted, and then we connected, and this is now our diagonal created by y equals x. Now, if we use that as a reflection, a line of reflection, let's take a look at this pre-image. Well, first of all, notice that this point here is on the line of reflection. So when you reflect it, x prime is going to be in the same spot. But how do we get those coordinates? So before, what we did was, okay, let's figure out what the coordinates of x, y, and w are. So x is at 3, 3, so we wrote that. Y is at +2, -1, we wrote that. And then w, the x is 5 and the y is -1, so we wrote that. So those are the coordinates for the pre-image. Now the image is, the way you predict the image is that you just swap the x and y to get the new coordinates. So if you swap the 3 and 3, well, that's just 3 and 3, okay, which happens to be x prime is in the same spot. Now if you switch 2 and -1, it becomes -1 and 2. So -1, 2 is right here. And then 5, -1 is where the original w is. Then when you switch them, it becomes -1, 5, which is over here. Then when you connect, you can see the reflection over the line y equals x, okay? Or in other words here, reflection across y equals x. So let's try number 22. It says reflection across up. This doesn't say y-axis, so we're not going to use that. It doesn't say x-axis, so we're not going to use that. We're going to use the line y equals x, which means, oh, all right, let me make my table. You don't have to do this every time if you know what to do, but I'm going to go ahead and write these down. So -2, -2, -1, -1, then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and then 5, 5, okay? So then let's plot these points. Where is -5, -5? Well, I like to know where the origin is, so I'm going to highlight that. I put my pencil there, go down, left 5 and down 5. All right. Then you go left 4 and down 4. Then you go left 3 and down 3. Left 2 and down 2. Left 1 and down 1. 0, 0. And then this one's right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1. Right 2, up 2. Right 3, 1, 2, 3, up 3. Now if I'm ever going too fast, you can always rewind. Right 4, up 4, right 4, up 4, and then right 5, up 5. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. I'm going to use one of my popsicle sticks here. You can use any straight edge. And I'm going to draw my line here. So now this is what it reflects over. Now, I'm going to show you with my patty paper what that might look like. So if you take your patty paper, if you don't have it, that's okay. You can just watch. So if this is my pre-image, okay, I have S, T, let's see, what's that, V, and then U. And then I fold it over. So I'm going to fold it over this line, and look where it's supposed to end up, okay? It's supposed to end up here, but you won't have patty paper on a test or a quiz, so how do you figure out this, where the location of these new points are, without patty paper? So here's what you do. Figure out the original first. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So let's see. We've got an S, we've got a T, and a U, and a V. So where's S? And we'll start at the origin. Left 3, up 3, that's negative 3, positive 3. And then T, left 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then left for U, it's just up 1. So it didn't go left or right, which is 0. And then it went up 1, so it's a positive 1. Then V went left 1, then up 1. So it's going to be negative 1, comma 1. These are your pre-image. Now let's see what the image becomes. This is where you don't need patty paper or anything. You just have to know the behavior of what happens when a point is reflected over the line y equals x. Remember, what we did was, okay, this was our pre-image, and we knew that we're going to reflect it over the line y equals x. Okay, that's not the y-axis, this is not the x-axis, this is a diagonal. So that when you flip it over that line, you should end up on this side. Well, how do we get those points? Since we're flipping over the line y equals x, the amazing thing is all you got to do is switch the x and the y. So now what we have is a negative 3 and then a comma 3. Now switch it. The 3 comes to the front, the negative 3 goes to the back. They switch places. T prime. The original was negative 3 comma 4, switch it, and you get 4 comma negative 3. And then U prime, okay, it was originally 0 comma 1, so now you make it 1 comma 0. And the original was negative 1 comma 1, then now it's going to be 1 comma negative 1. They literally just switch places. Now watch where they end up. So I'm going to ignore this side for a minute here. I'm just going to use my popsicle stick to just ignore that. Okay, so 3 comma negative 3, where is that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, comma 1, negative 3. Okay, now that's S prime. Well, let's see if that actually does work. So if I took my original patty paper, this S better end up on this S prime, okay? And it does, okay? So it does match. All right, now hiding this again, we got 4 comma negative 3. So from here we go 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, down negative 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should make this S prime go over here so it's not in the way. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2, 3, and that's T prime. Okay, and then we have U prime, which is at 1 comma 0. So I go right 1 and then just 1 comma 0. Oops, and that is U prime. And then we have V prime, which is 1 comma negative 1. 1 comma, wait, something's not right. What did I do? What did I do? Oh no, that's right. Okay, 1 comma negative 1. So here's 1 comma negative 1. And then that's going to be V prime. So then when I connect it, there is my image. And let's see if my patty paper supports that. Okay, flip it over, and it does. They match. So we reflected it. Now, that is what a reflection looks like when you reflect diagonally. Let's go to 23. Okay, 23, once again, we're reflecting over the line y equals x. Okay, well, we know if you want to draw the table, you can, or just know negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 2, negative 3, negative 3, negative 4, negative 4, negative 5, negative 5, 0, 0, then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. And then if you want, you can go ahead and draw the line. I'm going to use you can use any straight edge. Okay. So here's my line. So this time we just have this little point here. So we got it. It's going to reflect and go to the other side, but exactly where is the question? So figure out what the original coordinates are, and then let's figure out what the new ones should be after, when we switch their places. So T is at, you do the x direction first, so you have to go left 2, 1, 2. Left means negative 2. And since we did it on the x-axis, it goes in the x-coordinate spot. Then turn. When you turn, you're still starting at 0. Then start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. Since I went up, it's positive 5. Then where is t prime supposed to be? Well, let's see what happens. So let's say, okay, ignore this down here. Okay, I'm just reusing it. Let's say we have this line, and this is your t. If you fold it along this line, like this, then it should end up somewhere over here. Okay, so from here to here, but exactly where is that? So we're just going to switch these two coordinates. So the 5 comes to the front, the negative 2 comes to the back. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So if I'm going to plot this point, you go right 5 and down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 2. And that's where t prime is. If you want to check that, you can line it up, okay, flip it over, and that's where it ends up. So we're done. Now this one also says reflection across the line y equals x, which means 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 2. Let me highlight that. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 3, negative 4, negative 4, negative 5, negative 5. Okay, so then if I put these together, create my line, okay, and now I can see, oh, well, now I have this triangle, and I want to flip it over this line. So where do you guys think it'll end up? Will it end up on the same side, on the different side? So it should end up on the other side. So let's say, let me try another piece of paper. Hold on. Copy the line, and then I have my original triangle, DCE. Now, where do you think it'll end up? If I fold this, where should that end up? So if I fold it along the line, like this, it ends up over here. But the question is exactly where, okay? So, what do? We find our original coordinates. We got D, C, and D, and I know we have to go from the origin. So, I have to go left to get to D, so I always do the X first. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So I had to go left 3 and down 4. Okay, C. I have to go left 3, 1, 2, 3 again, but now I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left 3, down 5. And then E is left 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Left 1, and then down 4. All right, so let's see where we end up. Why don't you pause the video here and see if you can predict where the new points are going to be. So what basically you're going to do is you're going to switch these, and then switch these. Okay? So you can pause now and then just check. So it is negative 4, comma, negative 3, negative 5, comma, negative 3. Switch these. Negative 4 comes first, and then negative 1. Now we're going to ignore these, and we're going to plot our new points right here. So negative 4, comma, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's D prime. Okay, that's pretty close. All right, now negative 5, negative 3. Oh, I'm going to have to give some room to that. Let's see. I'll put it here maybe. So negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 3, 1, 2, 3, C prime. And then negative 4, negative 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. And that's E prime. So now let's connect it, and then connect it. And notice, see how it flips over that line. So we have this here, and we were going to see what happens when we flip it over that line. It ends up on that image, okay? All right, so that's done. Why don't you try numbers 25 and 26 on your own? I'm going to assume that you pause at this point and then check in. So I know that if I'm going to reflect across the line y equals x, then it's got to be going over this line. So imagine this line here. And you have to think, okay, well, this is going to flip to that side. So if I know it's going to flip in this general vicinity, I know it's not A because that's going way down here. That's more like reflecting over the x-axis. So this is the x-axis, okay? This one, I don't know what happened here, but it's not that one. Okay, so let's take a look. If you want, you should probably take a look at STU and see what their coordinates are first. Okay, so S is at, here's the origin, -4, 2. T is at, it didn't go left or right, 0, 5. And then U is at -1, 2. Now, let's see where S prime, T prime, U prime should be. So if you switch these, S prime will be 2, -4. If you switch these, T prime will be 5, 0. If you switch these, U prime will be 2, -1. Okay, so where is that? So S prime is at 2, -4. Let's see, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's S prime. T prime, so that's at 5, 0. So you go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can either go up or down. So that's T prime. And then 2, -1, so you go 2 to the right and down 1. All right, U prime. So now we can connect. Did I do that right? That looks right. Yeah, okay. So then we've got this here, and then we connect. Okay, that looks right. Okay, kind of looks weird to me. Let me see something. Let me just double check something. If I flip it over, yeah, that's right. I don't know, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Okay, so now that's number 25. So where is that? Okay, it's not this one. It looks like it's this one, and definitely not D. So C is the correct answer. Okay. Number 26, the line y equals x. Okay, so it's going through these points again. So just to get an idea of where you think it's going to end up. So if this is reflecting that way, so it's going to end up somewhere over here. It should not stay down here. So this is not a good one because it stays underneath the line. If you kind of draw the line, draw the line, and draw the line, kind of draw the line, you can have an idea of what's going on, okay? I'm not drawing it perfectly, but you can get an idea. So if you want, you can even do this. Just do one point at a time. So let's see. This is the origin. What are the coordinates of L? L is at 3, -1. Well, where would its prime be when reflected over the line y equals x? It'll be, oops, switch them, at -1, 3. So that's L prime. So it'll be -1, 1, 2, 3. Well, where do you see that here? Do you see this L prime is over there? Nope. -1, 3? Nope. -1, 3? Okay, that looks right. And then it's not even, L prime is not even the correct spot, so it has to be this one. Okay? And if you want to check the other points, you can. So, for example, what are the original coordinates of M? M is at 1, 2, 3, 4, -1. But if you switch it, it becomes -1, 4. So where is that? Left 1 and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if you look down here, it does that. So that's another one we checked. If you want to check N prime and K prime, feel free to do that, and you should know that they're going to match up. So that's the end of this video, and I would strongly suggest you guys go back and review this packet and the notes so that you're ready for the quiz tomorrow. I'm not going to put the practice quiz on here because the quiz I'm getting tomorrow is pretty straightforward, okay? And we'll do a little tiny review before the quiz. So you guys should be fine because we've been spending 3 days on this. So what we learned here just now, the y equals x, that will not be on the quiz tomorrow, okay? Because you guys literally just learned it. So I won't put this on the quiz, okay? But everything else leading up to this, reflection over the x-axis, the reflection over the y-axis, you need to know how to do that.